morning, Luna Bear. Good morning, Luna Bear. Hi.
No, Puffy.
Oh, no, not on the bed.
Hi guys, so today is Thursday and it is the beginning of another vlog. I would like to start doing vlogs consistently and have them start on Wednesdays, but this last week my dad had minor surgery and I had to spend the first chunk of the week with him. Thank you to everybody who wished him a speedy recovery. He is doing great. I was at his house until last night, so it's Thursday and now I can sit and talk about books and stuff, the important things in life. Little recap of the last reading vlog. I did finish Time of Contempt. I also finished Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, put up a chat for that. That is both non-spoiler at the beginning and then very spoilery after, and it's super long. I had a lot to say. I love that book so much. I also started a book called Descendant of the Crane, and that one I have not progressed on, but I would love to try to read some more of it in this week's vlog, but we'll see, because some of the other books that I want to get to might take precedence. They might kind of come first, and one of those would be The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. I also would like to get to Elantris. It is the only Cosmere book I have not done a review for, and I really want to review this book. It's, I think, one that doesn't get talked about very much, but it has an incredibly interesting premise, and so I want to get to this one again. I had plans to read it in January, but I got sick, and then I don't like reading when I'm sick. Some people love it, but I don't, because I don't feel good, and when I don't feel good, I'm just cranky, and I'm going to be reading a book, and I'm going to be cranky while reading the book, and then that could potentially affect my enjoyment of the story. Not really fair to the author, so I just wanted to make sure that my reread, I could be really focused and attentive and happy while I was reading it, so I really want to get around to this one. If I have time, I would also like to get to Ever the Hunted. I don't foresee myself having the time to get to those two books, finish Descendant of the Crane, and read this one, but hey, maybe I'll need a break between the two adult fantasy books and I'll want to read a kind of shorter YA. We'll see.
We are watching Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, or if it's like 2x4, it's Hunter by Hunter, which I think is what it is. And we're watching it. Well, I've already watched the first 8 episodes, so it's time to get someone else to catch up.
You and Luna.
Yeah.
Luna, you betrayed me. She doesn't even care. Look how aloof she is.
Because she's already seen it. Something like that.
So, plans have changed. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa. This is the sequel to Shadow of the Fox, and I loved that book last year. I thought it was so much fun, and this one came early. It's not supposed to come out until the 18th, I believe, and I had ordered it, and it was sent to me, and it came to me way before. So I'm going to start this because I really want to. So I've decided this weekend. My dad asked if I could stop by on Saturday to see how he's doing since he just had surgery. So my Saturday is going to be kind of full, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and start this, and then I'm going to stick with my YA books for this reading vlog for this week, and then next week I'll jump into the adult fantasy. That way my weekend will be free to really spend time dedicated to those, whereas this time I can spend toward these kind of smaller, easier to get through YA books. There's a fly, and Luna's trying to get it.
Hey guys, so I ended up finishing 2 of my books. I finished Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa, and I think I liked the first, I don't think I definitely liked the first one more, but that's not to say that the first one was better or that objectively everybody's gonna agree that yes, it was better or something like that. It's not like that. It's just that there were elements about the first one that I really enjoyed, and some of those elements took a backseat a little bit. The other one I finished was Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall, and I think that if you are the kind of person that is looking for a romance adventure story, this is perfect for you. I normally don't love romance in books when I'm expecting the story to be something different, but I don't think this one really was trying to hide that it was a lot of romance in the story. So if you like that kind of thing, it's gonna probably fit you really well. And I actually found the romance in this to be not that angsty. I think sometimes people crave the angstiness, they crave the will they, won't they, the bickering of the characters, the hate to love, all those kinds of things. And in this one, without telling you what ends up happening between the two characters, I personally found that anytime that I personally, because I don't always want the angst, sometimes I just want people to be normal, so anytime a situation would come up where I'm like, please don't have the characters overreact or draw it out just so that this can continue to be a, oh my gosh, what's going to happen, tension-filled love. Anytime that kind of a thing came up and I was really hoping that somebody would just act maturely, I definitely felt that they acted maturely, and perhaps, maybe for some people, that will make the reading experience of this less of a page turn, because people really like that stuff. They really like when people are maybe a little more dramatic, and I found that the characters were fairly level-headed in how they approached one another and how they spoke. For those who have no idea what Ever the Hunted is about, it follows one perspective, our main character named Britta, and she, at the very beginning of the book, is mourning the death of her father, and she is a tracker, and so they want to use her to try and figure out who her father's killer is, and they are pretty sure that her father's killer is her love interest, this boy that she grew up kind of being friends with and always cared for, and now all of the evidence is pointing to him. So she has to track down this person, figure out, did this person that I kind of sort of love kill my dad? That's kind of a big deal. Lastly, I am 212 pages into Descendant of the Crane, so I didn't finish this one. I'm hoping to finish it today if I can, and then get a review up for you guys. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely getting better, and originally I described it as being a murder mystery. When we start off at the beginning of the story, this girl's father also is dead, so there's a similar theme in dead dads. So the girl's dad is dead, and she is now having to rise to the occasion because he was the king, essentially, and now she's the queen. And so she is trying to figure out how to navigate her new role while also trying to figure out who murdered her father. That is, I would still say, at the core of the story, this is kind of what sets everything in motion, but there's a lot more to the story than just that. I was definitely anticipating this to be a more contained world and for all of the intrigue and the whodunit type situations to be something that was small, and it's definitely branching out and becoming more than I was expecting. And that's pretty cool, and I'm definitely really intrigued and excited to keep going. One thing about the story that a personal preference is it definitely kind of just throws you in, like you just dropped right into it. And I feel a little bit like it's not that I'm constantly sitting here super confused as to what's going on. I'm not like, well, who's this? I don't know. I can't read it anymore. It's not anything like that. It's just I think I would have more of a connection and the stakes would feel a little higher if the story maybe started a little bit before, or if the politics of this kingdom were expanded on a little bit more initially, so then I felt like I had as much at stake as the character, because the character will be like, oh, if this goes wrong, then that's bad, and I'm like, oh, okay. But if I had known ahead of time that this is a big deal, I think it would have impacted me a little bit more. But all that said, not everybody wants to spend forever being told about everything, having everything build really slow. So, personal preference thing, but I can't, say much else. I'm only halfway through the book. We shall see what I think of it once I'm done with it. Those are the books that I've been reading. Let me know what you've been reading. If you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts on them. But anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.